It was another peaceful morning in the Pride Lands. The warm and imposing light of the sun covered the savannah. The animals thrived under the rule of King Kiyume and Queen Adira, who had just woken up in the royal cave in Pride Rock, just as their two sons, Yukali, their firstborn, and heir to the throne, intrepid and enthusiastic, and Askari, who was more discreet and reserved, but respected by the young and old alike. Just like his brother, they were already mature lions, but still in their first moons of adulthood.
Dad, why can't I go with you to the meeting with Indaba?
Yukali asked his father.
You know the elephant's son. Tradition means everything to them, and their custom dictates that Indaba should only deliberate in presence of the two monarchs. No one more and no one less.
Kiyume looked at his mate and gestured towards the cave's exit.
Your father is right, Ukali. Elephants take their uses and customs very seriously, especially Nadaba. Just wait for us here and take care of your brother.
Adira resumed her steps along with the king.
But how will I be a good king if I don't learn what a king is supposed to do?
Dad could tell you all about it when he returns.
Askari proposed with a subtle tone of mockery.
Nobody asked you.
Yukali approached his father once again.
Please, what if I hide in a bush or something and observe everything from there? I'll be very cautious, I promise.
Yukali backed away as his father approached him with a sentencing frown.
Do not even think about it. You are not going, Ukali. It's an order.
Kiyume and Adira finally left.
Cheer up, brother. Maybe next time.
Askari said.
Or we can go without them noticing.
Yukali started to come out of the cave with bold and obstinate steps.
Hey! No! Ukali!
Askari started to follow him.
Ukali, do you even imagine what Dad will do if he catches us? Oh, I mean you. If he catches you, he's gonna hang you by the tail.
The two brothers exited Pride Rock, stopping their steps as soon as they went down the rocky path that led to the grassy ground.
Then stay. I'm gonna go anyway, and there's nothing you or Dad can do about it. I just want to see how it goes.
Yukali resumed his steps.
Ukali.
Don't worry, I'll tell you everything I see.
Askari stood on the same spot while watching his brother leave.
I don't care about that, Ukali. Ugh. Do as you wish. But I'm not gonna defend you if he catches you. You hear me?
Yeah, got it.
Yukali continued his way to the meeting.
Ukali.
Askari wandered around with hesitation for a couple of minutes. Then he gave in to his concerns and began to follow the path that his brother and the two monarchs had taken on his way to the meeting with Nidaba. Halfway, after fording a small river through a humble forest, Askari noticed that he was being followed.
Huh? Hello?
Hello there!
Ah! Whoa! Vanti, you scared the heck out of me.
Bonte was about Askari's age, a young lion with light brown fur and a dark red mane, green eyes, and one of his upper fangs protruded when he had his snout closed.
I can see that. So, where are we going?
Where am I going? I'll catch up with you later.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna go with you.
Ugh, no, Banty. This is a family matter.
Oh, I see. Then all the more reason I must go.
And why is that?
Well, I'm like part of the family, right? I'm almost like your brother.
My actual brother is about to make something very stupid, and I have to bring him back. That's why I need maximum secrecy. And that is why you must go, Banty.
Bonte just remained silent as they kept going, now walking up a steep and stony path, one that diverted to the Kilio forest.
You aren't leaving, are you?
I don't think so, pal.
Oh, for the... Alright, but be as stealthy as you can.
Come on, Stealthy is my second name. Well, actually, it's Adjate Joe, but you catch my drift.
In the meantime, in the dense Kilio forest, on a slightly more elevated area that was covered with a tall and uncommonly green grass, Ndiba, leader of the elephants, was standing before the King Kiyume and Queen Adira, surrounded by the rest of his kind, with a palpable air of solemnity, majesty, and respect. Ndiba took the floor first.
Your Majesties, it is a great pleasure and blessing to receive you in our home this day. Sadly, not in the best of circumstances, as you already know.
King Kiyume nodded at the elephant leader, then waited a couple moments to formulate his response.
I have spoken with Baraka. He understands that his crocodiles did wrong, and he promised that his followers would control themselves more on the next hunt.
Oh, my king. Without wanting to offend you, I must tell you that I know crocodiles much more than any other animal in the Pridelands. They simulate honor and formality, but in the end they always end up breaking their word. They aren't like us, brimming with temperance and patience. How could we discuss with such tenacious and egotistical animals? Who won't stop hunting even after their bellies are full and their appetites sated.
Baraka isn't like that. But those he leads are, and I don't think it's because of evil in their hearts, Ndaba. Because they are still young and inexperienced, not versed in the circle of life and what it means.
And tell me, King Kiyume, Queen Adira, isn't that a task that was sacredly entrusted to you lions? To ensure that the great balance stands and proclaim it? Protect it?
Yukali was hiding well behind a set of tall bushes, being covered by a tree with many branches as well, a few meters from the meeting, on a higher ground. He was watching the meeting attentively, then his ear twitched when hearing steps behind him.
Kali.
Askari said, walking crouched as he approached his brother, same as Bonti. Yukali looked at him over his back and frowned.
What in the Pridelands are you doing here?
We don't want you to do something stupid.
Bonti said without further ado.
What? What did you just say?
Yukali looked at Askari's friend with a frown of great annoyance.
Banty, let me handle this.
Askari took a step forward to face his brother more closely.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna walk away very slowly and return to Pride Rock without anyone noticing.
Oh, really? I've got news for you. I don't take orders from you or anyone. And why did you bring him anyway?
I'm not the problem here.
Bonti said with a feigned indignation.
Banty, please.
You two, go away before someone really hear...
As Yukali stepped back, he crushed a dry branch by accident with one of his hind paws.
Dang it.
Ndiba gasped as his big ears detected the cracking noise, as well as Yukali's voice.
It seems we have company.
Ndiba looked at the high mound, focusing his gaze on the moving bushes.
I know you're there, Spires. You better come out of those bushes now.
King Kiyume walked past the elephant leader, looking at the bushes with a certain embarrassed glare.
Ukali.
His firstborn came out of the bushes, hunched over him with his tail in between his legs, same as Bonti and Askari, who followed him all the way down to the meeting place.
My king, I want to believe you're aware of how discreet we like our meetings.
Kiyume just ignored Ndiba's words, looking at his son with great anger and disappointment.
Come closer, Ukali.
The king's firstborn was trembling continuously, even more than Bonti and Askari.
For what?
Now!
Yukali walked towards his father, sitting down before him. Kiyume had thrown a violent blow right at his son's snout, making him fall to the ground. Kiyume kept glaring at his son for a long moment. Then he switched his gaze at Askari and Bonti, just giving them an inquisitive look.
It's such a shame that our meeting wasn't fruitful, king of mine. Us elephants are patient, but a situation of this gravity calls for more immediate action. We will do what we consider wise and determinate. In the meantime, and I say this with all due respect, your highnesses can learn to educate and correct your children and prevent this from happening again.
Indiba turned and started to walk away from Kyume and Adira. The king took a step at the front and stood firmly, looking at Indiba and his elephants with a serious and authoritative gaze.
We'll celebrate a new meeting at dusk.
Kyume's imperative words made Indiba turn and look back at him with eyes of discontent. Kyume looked at his mate and 3 young lions, gesturing towards the way home, turning and starting to walk away, followed by them.
And we'll come to an agreement this time, Ndaba.
The king said without giving another look to the elephant leader, who just stayed watching how he and the other lions left.
If that is your wish, my king, Mapaka Hapo.
The walk back home was silent. It felt long and heavy for the 3 lions, especially Yukali. Kyume stopped walking just when they got under Pride Rock, turning to face his offspring, standing firmly and with a great fury that he longed to release.
You ruined everything. Everything, Ukali!
Yukali looked at his father with tears in his eyes.
I'm sorry, okay? Everything was fine until Askari and Banty came.
Askari approached his brother, adopting a defensive countenance.
I went only to bring you back. What was I supposed to do?
Shut your snouts, you two! Askari, I know that your brother acts more than he thinks. He can't help it. But you could have been... You're smarter than this. But... You even brought your friend with you. Why?
Sir? It was my fault. I insisted to go. He even tried to stop.
I wasn't talking to you!
Banshee hunched over and took several steps back.
Sorry.
Askari and the others remained silent for a long moment, until Queen Adira spoke.
You were very irresponsible. All of you. But what happened today can no longer be changed. The only thing left for you to do is taking the blame. Reflect on your actions and learn.
The queen looked at her maid, gesturing towards the path that led into Pride Rock. The king thought for a moment, then gave a final look at the 3 young lions, without saying a word, just looking into their eyes with warning and authority. Finally, the monarchs left. Yukali walked away from Banti and Askari, not long after his parents went into Pride Rock. After a brief reflective moment, Askari started to walk over the soft grass, passing by the trees and the rocks without specific direction, wandering in his thoughts, accompanied by his friend.